Hey friends, it is Lori Hiscock over at Ruoff Mortgage. Well, I don't know about you, but my property tax bills came in, so I thought we should talk about taxes. Let's talk about taxes, please. Let's talk about home owning. Let's talk about all the things we pay for because these roads ain't free. Let's talk about taxes. I totally wrote that. Are you so impressed with me? I bet you didn't know I had songwriting skills. All right, so I clearly don't have songwriting skills, but I do have property tax knowledge skills. So let's see if I can impress you with that. Go grab your tax bill. We're gonna go through it, not line by line, but we're gonna go through it. I wanna cover how to read this thing. I wanna cover the key things you should be looking at on it. And then if you think your taxes are too high, don't we all? But if you think they truly are too high, what you can do about it. All right, got your taxes? All right, let's do it. Here's one of mine. I have several because I have some rental properties. And this is one of my rental properties, so it's gonna look different than yours if you actually can even see it. But here's the key things you wanna look at. The first thing you wanna look at on it is line 1B, the gross assessed value. You see that right there? Gross assessed value. It shows what the value was for the tax bill last year and then what the value is for the tax bill this year. Look at that first and then do a little thinking. Is that value this year, that number there, does that feel like an accurate value for my house? Don't really look at the difference between the two because it may have gone up, it may have gone down, it may have gone up a lot. But even if it did, is it an accurate-ish number? Do you think that's roughly what the house is worth? If so, then we're gonna move on to the second part. Down here in the bottom, see this little part down here where it says Table 5, boy, I can't read without my glasses. Deductions applied. Mine is empty, and that's because I don't have any deductions on this house. It's a rental property. But if you own your house and you live in it, you should have at least two things there. The first should say homestead exemption, something like that, homestead, and the second should say supplemental. Those two things together are the homestead exemption. That's the discount you get on your taxes because you own the house and you live in the house. You're an owner occupant, you get a deduction on your taxes. A third one you may have down in that box will be the mortgage exemption. That is something that may not be there even if you have a mortgage because you need to file for it and maybe you missed that. It happens. It's a smaller deduction. Don't worry about it if you missed it. You can still file it this year for the future. But that is the small deduction you get for having a mortgage on the house. So first, look at the assessed value. Does it look kind of right? Second, look at these exemptions. Do those look right? Do you have the ones that you should have? Now, here's the big one. You're gonna see at the top, you always read that little stuff on the top. It says property taxes capped at 1%, blah, 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 2% for blah, blah, blah. And you might do the little math on your taxes and go, aha, I live in my house, my taxes are more than 1% of that assessed value. That is Indiana law. They're not supposed to be more than 1% of the value. However, every law has loopholes, words, I'm getting old, loopholes, things that can change, things that can make it different. One of the things that can change is that we as a county, a township, I don't even know what entities are. We're allowed to say, no, we want to pay more than 1%. We believe in certain things, we want to pay more. And South Bend Schools did that last year. We had a referendum, we voted on it, and we said we want our schools to be better. We will pay more than that cap in property taxes to make that happen. That is showing up right here in table 2. You see where it says your property cap tax 1, 2, 3, then upward adjustment due to voter approved projects and changes. If your taxes went up this year, that is probably what is driving it. They went up because we passed things for better schools and the increase is right there. That's what's making the change. If you live in Mishawaka, Mishawaka passed something similar to that a couple of years ago, I think, 2 years ago. So theirs has already been there, but for the South Bend School people like me, it's just kicking in right now. So you're gonna look at those things. Look at your assessed value. Look at your deductions. Do you have the right ones? Look and go, oh yeah, better schools. And see then, does that number seem to make sense? Now, if it doesn't, if specifically you think that assessed value is wrong, and here's a really important thing. Property taxes in Indiana are paid a year behind. I always have to think as I say this. 2021, we are paying for the taxes in 2020, which are based on the assessed value in 2019. So really, was your house worth that in 2019? Not right now. We know prices are going crazy, but 2 years ago, was your house worth that? If not, you can dispute. If you're missing some exemptions, you can file. But if not on that, you can dispute. And this is something you can do yourself. If you do it wrong, then you may miss your opportunity to do it. So I would say, if you think it's wrong, I do have a friend who does that as a part of her career path. She just does multiple wonderful things, but she does that. She'll give you a free consultation. If she agrees with you that it's wrong, she can help you dispute for a fee, and I think it's worth it rather than messing it up yourself. But if you think it's wrong, you can dispute, all to say. But all in all, taxes. Let's talk about taxes. That's going to be stuck in my head all day, and I pray that it's not stuck in yours. You deserve better. If there's ever anything I can do for you, if you have more questions on this, if you have questions on real estate, if you have questions on mortgages, which I love, if you're thinking about buying, refinancing, if your neighbor's brother's cousin's dog's friend is thinking about buying or refinancing, I'm your mortgage gal. Call me, text me, email me, Facebook message me, whatever. I'm always happy to help. Let's talk about taxes. I gotta stop. All right. See you, friends.